Hi, everybody. Um, Jessica, manager of the food bank here. I know you've probably all met me, but just in case you're watching this for the first time, I have a couple of weeks ago sent out a email to you all about little updates, useful things to be able to talk to our clients about when you see them in the cafe. And I just wanted to give you a little bit more information on the Citizens Advice Southwest Surrey Homeless Prevention and Rough Sleepers referral form that I talked about in that email. Basically, because the form you've got is obviously a paper form to fill in, but some of the questions in it aren't that clear. And there is a digital version that we can fill in once we've got your form to send off to Citizens Advice. And it just gives you a little bit more information of what the questions are asking for. So what I'm going to do is look at those two forms with you alongside each other, so you've got a little bit of a better understanding. Of course, if there's any questions when you're talking to a client, you can always contact myself or Faraday during the session via your team leader, or you can just fill in the client's basic details, ask the team leader to send us the form, and we can always follow up the client afterwards. Whenever you're filling forms this time, it's not your responsibility to send them off. The team leader will send them into us at the office, and then we will make sure they're complete and then send them on to whichever organisation we're referring to. So let me just share my screen and show you the forms that we're talking about. So this is the form that is available, and you can find this if you're talking to somebody who's at risk of homelessness or is homeless and isn't already getting support from somewhere like Riverside, who are contracted through the council to help with homelessness prevention. Then these forms are available in the black cafe listener folder, which is normally on the top of the, or I call the team leader drawers, the white drawers that are next to the team leader table. If you can't find it, ask somebody and they'll have a rummage around to let you. But there should be an explanatory email on inside this, and then copies of the form for you to use if needed. The form you've got looks like this. It's got simple information to fill initially, but then you'll see there's some. If we have the digital version, if you're looking at ethnicity, it would give you a drop down of a whole range of options. So just talk to someone about ethnicity. People normally would just let you know, they know what their ethnicity is, but that's the kind of range of options you've got there. Back to the form that you can see whether they've got any long-term disability, health issues, and then tenure. That's looking at whether they're renting and where are they renting from. So back in the digital options, you'll see you've got council, housing association, private rented, and whether or they've got mortgage or the other situations. You're then putting in who the mortgage lender is, the value of what they're, or who the landlord is, the current value that they're paying monthly, if they've got any arrears, what the council tax is, and if they've got any arrears there. And then there's an area for putting in the reasons for referral. And then, as we always have on these referral forms, clients consent to be contacted for these contacts, so their details be passed on for them to be contacted. Then we're looking at whether they're working, and that's yes, no, or unknown. The same for their partner. And this is the question that made me realise that the form they'd sent us wasn't that clear. Is the client receiving? So we see on the digital form, is the client receiving has a drop-down option. And this is slightly out of date because it's looking at job seekers allowance and employer support allowance. That should just be universal credit. And then there's the carers allowance, any maternity, paternity pay, or any sick pay. So you're basically asking the client what their main source of income is. And if you can find out, that's really useful. And also then the same for their partner. And if there's anything additional, then there's space to fill it in there. So you've got more space here to say what else is happening, what other income they've got coming in. Then don't worry about putting your name or contact details or email. That's purely for us to do as the office. We don't want to have to pass on your personal details to referring organisations because that's not relevant for your role. Just pop in, it says it's Guildford Food Bank and the date you made the referral, and we'll fill in the rest. And there's anything in here that you can't get the information from the clients at the time, we could, once we've got the form in the office, we can then follow up with the client to find that information out. It's always helpful with any referral to give any other information that you've not given here. But that's about it. The key things I wanted you to know about were the bits about tenure, so you know who they're renting from, and how what the client's main source of income is the client receiving. So I think that's it. If there are any questions, of course, just give me a call or drop me an email. And if it's a question that's relevant to everybody, then I'll reply to you all as well, so you know what's going on. But thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Take care.